Welcome back to the 12th day. You've made it. I'm so happy to have you here. Give it up. So for today, we're going to be giving out a gem deck box. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. The mail is so far behind right now that I still don't have any of this in my hand. So when it shows up, I'll get it shipped out. So if you guys want, I don't even know what gem deck box it is. I know it's a gem deck box. All right. So it could be a Senpai one. Could be Godzilla. It can be anything. Use your imagination. Man, that's rude to say. Just bear with me, all right? So, guys, please leave a comment down below. Make sure you guys get it into. Look at it. It's beautiful, right? It's a ghost rare, all right? So leave a comment down below. Make sure you guys get it in. That way you guys can get it in. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you guys are freaking subscribed, all right? My goal is still to hit 85K by the end of the year. I don't think we're going to do it, but that's fine. It's still the holiday season. Tournament Madness tomorrow night at 7 p.m. EST, and wow, let's dig on into the final day, shall we? Alright, so this is the final spice that I have for everybody out of the 12 days, and this is from Master Dinnerflex. This is basically going to be Bujin OTK. Now, the first thing I want to say is you have to understand that you're trying to play Bujins in the year 2020. And that's not necessarily going to work out for you. So basically, Bujins are this really cool strategy that basically rely on protect the castle, essentially. All of their pieces rely on powering up the big boss monster, using the big boss monster to push through an entire board, and to generate advantage through that boss monster. It's almost like every Bujin monster is living vicariously through the big guy. So, the biggest problem with this deck is all of the old support that we had. Hi, Yamato. How are you? Was slow. You're not going down that path anymore, right? So, this is the OTK machine brought to you by Dinnerflex. Alright, so we have triple copies of Bujin Torofune. This actually just recently got announced. So you can tribute this card, special summon 2 Bujin monsters with different types from your deck in defense position, except for Torofune. When you exceed a Bujin monster while this card is in your graveyard, you'd equip this card from your graveyard to that monster. You can only use each effect of Bujin Torofune once per turn. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with the equipped monster. Hey! I get a Lone Fire Blossom that brings this self out as an equip card to Big Monster Machine, and then Big Monster Machine gets to smash on over things and basically put pressure on the opponent. Alright, that's good enough. We have triple copies of Bujin Mati, basically Bujin Pegasus. So you can send one other Bujin card from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. So this is going to be our extender, right? Alright. During your main phase, you can activate one of these effects. We can send a Bujin monster from our hand to the graveyard to add a Bujin with a different name from our graveyard to our hand. Or we can banish one Bujin monster with a different name from our deck to our, send a different one to the graveyard. So, cool thing with this was this is what you basically use with setup, or this is what you would use to set up the Bujin Carnation, because Bujin Carnation needs something banished. You're not always going to get perfect synergy to do this, but we now have an extender and a special summon machine. Alright, we have 2 copies of Bujin Arasuda. If a Bujin monster in your graveyard or face up on your side of the field is banished, you can special summon this card from your hand in face up defense position. And then once per turn during the end phase, if a Bujin card was added from your deck to your hand this turn, except by drawing it, while you control this face up card, you can draw a card. We care that we can special summon extend with this. Alright, that's the big thing with this. Bujin Hirumi. Cannot be normal summon. Must be special summoned from your hand by banishing one Bujin monster from your graveyard, except for Hirumi. If this card was summoned this way, is destroyed by an opponent's card by battle or card effect sent to the graveyard, and both players have a hand, you can discard one card and then your opponent discards a card. Look at these conditions, by the way. This is ridiculous. When this card is destroyed by your opponent's card effect by battle or card effect and sent from your side of the field to the graveyard, and both players have a hand, this thing is such big conditions. Alright. And then we have 2 copies of Hiroko. So this is what we actually can use to rank up our monsters. So you can banish this card in your Pendulum Zone, target a Bujin Exceed monster you control. Special summon from your extra deck one Bujin Exceeds monster with a different name by using that monster's Exceed material. This special summon is treated as an Exceed summon, and of course your materials will transfer. This also doubles as a target for us to special summon off of the unexpected die. Alright, so how do we OTK here with this? So we're going to Bujin Crane. During damage calculation, if your Beast, Warrior, Bujin monster control battles an opponent's monster, you send this card from hand to the graveyard. The attack of that monster becomes double its original attack during that damage calculation. Susanoo machine get big. That's 4,800 on a crash over. That's pretty good. We have 2 copies of the turtle, so during either player's turn, when a card effect is activated that targets a Bujin monster, you can actually banish this from the graveyard to negate that effect. Hare, during either player's turn, banish this card from a graveyard, target a Beast, Bujin Exceed monster. You control during this turn, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect once. And then we have the Quill in here. If you control a Beast, Warrior type Bujin monster, you can banish this card from a graveyard, target a face-up card the opponent controls, and destroy it. So this is our cool little weapons that we have to give extra effects to our big Bujin monsters. Then we have triple copies of Ash Blossom, triple copies of Nibiru, and triple copies of Gamma, so we can have a nice assortment of hand traps to make sure that we don't actually die to our opponent. We have 1 driver to go with that brick. We have 2 copies of Gamma Seal. If your opponent puts something that's a threat on the field that you necessarily can't deal with, this is going to give you the ability to do that. Also, it's going to help us have an easier time to push through the opponent's field. We have 1 copy of Pankratops for the additional special summon. And then we have, of course, we have triple copies of Tenki. It's any Bujin monster we want it to be, essentially. And then we have triple copies of Pot of Disparity. So, getting that key Pot of Duality to get to any sort of combo piece that we're going to need to make sure that we can OTK our opponent, right here, alright? It can be anything. Even a win con. Isn't that cool? I kind of want to see a third unexpected die in here. But at this point, I feel like that might be too much. Granted, we do have a lot of bricks going on in this deck right now, so I understand that you kind of need to wane down a little bit on some of the card choices in here, but I would still like to see the third. At least it extends out the Hiroko. And then we have 1 copy Harpy's Feather Duster for the blowout on the opponent to ensure that, hey, we just won the game. Free real estate, by the way. Alright, so we have 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn, 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix. These are just going to be your basic cleanup stuff. 1 copy of the Hip Hoshigan. Everything is a light monster. Alright, light, yep, everything's a light. So being able to make this and then float on into something else if they out this, no problem. Super easy stuff. 1 copy of Lambda. It's just free real estate off of the Gamma, depending on how you open. 1 copy of Omega, same thing here, just free real estate for these guys to trigger. 1 copy of the AA Zeus machine. We actually get to abuse this. Alright, if you don't mess up their day with Susanoo, you're able to make this. We have 1 Abyss Dweller for graveyard mess-ups, 1 Dugrass the Timeless for extensions, 1 copy of the Tiger King to get to the Tenki for the additional search. And we have the 1 Kagutsuchi. Remember, on Exceed summons send the top 5 cards of your deck to the graveyard, or your entire deck if it's less than 5. Also, this card gains 100 attack for each Bujin monster sent to the graveyard by this effect. If a Bujin Exceed monster you control will be destroyed by a card effect and detachable material from this card instead. We actually get to protect the big guy with this. We have 1 Tsukiyomi for additional draw power, 1 copy of Amaterasu. You guys know how broken this card is. And then our win con, Susanoo. So this card can attack all your opponent's monsters, once each, once per turn. You can detach an Exceed material from this card to take 1 Bujin monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to your graveyard. So we actually can tutor for the crane, we can drop the turtle, we can drop the hare, we can drop whatever piece that we need here, we're able to access. Side deck here is triple Twin Twister, triple Solemn Judgment, 2 copies of Solemn Scolding, triple copies of Summon Limit, 1 Imperial Order, and triple copies of Dimensional Barrier, wrapping up the entire Bujin OTK machine. Is this deck super consistent? No, not really. Is it fun as heck? Oh, absolutely. This is the kind of stuff that I just enjoy watching people suffer through and just getting OTK'd with. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh's about. It's coming up with the cheekiest stuff that you can to mess with your opponent and just smile as you're winning. So guys, get entered in to take this gem deck box from me, please. All right, leave a comment down below. Make sure that you get entered in to take this home with you today, and I will see your beautiful faces back here on Christmas Eve. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace out, and well, enjoy the holidays so far. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCole40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCole40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcolegames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.